Hello, fish keepers! Welcome back to my channel. Today, we are talking about a fish that will touch the hearts of our inner child. Here's everything you need to know about our special guest today, the Mickey Mouse Platy. Now, the Mickey Mouse Platy is a man-made variation of the platy fish. In the late 20th century, breeders were experimenting with crossbreeding different types of platies to enhance the coloration. But during that process, a certain mutation occurred, resulting in a distinct pattern of the Mickey Mouse logo on the tail. Over time, after a lot of trial and error, the breeders were able to perfect this and have the Mickey Mouse logo become a dominant gene. This marking, combined with the platy's vibrant color variation and friendliness, made it super desirable among aquarium enthusiasts. As breeders perfected this mutation, it gained popularity in the aquarium trade, and now it's officially recognized as the Mickey Mouse Platy. Now, the Mickey Mouse Platy has been nicknamed the moonfish, although the direct reason why has kind of been lost in translation over the years, but a lot of people point to the fact that it's the disc-like shape of the fish's body. Others trace the name back to when breeders were testing different color variations, and the gradient color resembled that of the dark side and the light side of the moon. There's a Mulan Disney joke in there somewhere. Now, these fish are native to Central America, specifically Guatemala and northern Honduras. And they come in a lot of different colors: orange, white, blue, red, yellow. They tend to grow 2 to 3 inches in length in most tanks. In the wild, I've heard about them getting as close to 4, but no more than that. They are mid-dwellers, meaning they're gonna hang out mostly in the middle of your tank. And that's very important to know as you begin to add more fish to your tank. Because 1, you don't wanna crowd the middle. 2, if you have any mid-dwellers, they'll eat all the food that you put into the tank before it has a chance to sink to the bottom for the bottom dwellers to get anything. That's why sinking pellets even became a thing, so that the top and the mid-dwellers couldn't completely eat it up before the bottom dwellers had a chance. Their lifespan is about 3 to 5 years, although higher protein diets, which we'll get into later, will help it get to that 5-year mark. As far as schooling fish, they're not true schoolers. They can do well solo, but they do best if they have their own kind with them, usually about 3 to 5. Not because they need it, but having a few others will keep their stress levels low, which is going to protect against diseases that tend to creep up on fish when their immune systems start to get low. As for the water current, remember, these fish come from the rivers of Central America, so you're going to want to mimic a current just like that. And in the rivers of Central America, you get a low to mid-level current. An ideal pH level is going to be somewhere between 6.8 and 8.0, and slightly alkaline water. And the temperature is no different than the standard either. You're looking at between 70 to 82 degrees. And that range increases if you're trying to breed them. We'll talk about that in a second. They are omnivores. In the wild, they eat plants and bugs, so you'll do just fine feeding them a combination of fish flakes, brine shrimp, zucchini, spinach. But again, to maximize their lifespan, go with those higher protein options like bugs and brine shrimp. Fun fact about the Mickey Mouse Platy: they're very social, they're very interactive, and they'll often play with the other tank mates. They're naturally very curious and explorative. So that's great for anybody who likes to regularly show off their tank, because they're constantly on the move and doing something really cool. They are live bearers, so if you're breeding them, a breeding tank is best. Or if you're just hoping to get a couple of fries out of them, you'll need to create a lot of hiding spaces that the babies can run to when they're born. Otherwise, the other fish in the tank are just going to eat them. So if you're hoping for some fry, you can increase your chances by increasing the temperature on the upper end of their range. And you can keep a 1 to 2 male to female ratio. Now, to determine males and females, males have an anal fin that is longer, thin, and pointed, whereas females have a rounded, fan-shaped anal fin. Females are also generally larger and rounder, especially when they're pregnant. Males are smaller and slimmer. Females often have a visible dark spot near the abdomen when they're pregnant, while the males do not. Males tend to be more vibrant and colorful, especially during the breeding seasons, compared to the more subdued colors of the females. Now, time for a pop quiz. Which of these fish is the female? Number 3. Some good tank mates for these fish are corydoras, cory cats. They're peaceful bottom dwellers that occupy a completely different part of the tank. They keep the environment clean. Another one would be neon tetras. They're small schooling fish that thrive in the same water conditions as the Mickey Mouse Platy, and they tend to hang around the mid and top levels of the tank. Guppies, colorful live bearers with similar water condition needs, and they often coexist with platies already in most local pet stores and other big box retailers. Now let's talk about their ranking. Okay, so breeders over the last 2 centuries have done a pretty good job at making these fish super colorful. However, with so many colorful fish now in the aquarium trade, the wow factor has significantly gone down. But that Mickey Mouse logo is so unique and it impresses so many people who see it for the very first time. So I'm giving it a wow factor score of a 3. When it comes to hardiness, these fish have got to be some of the toughest little guys out there. I'm almost glad they're popular with novice and beginner fish keepers because they can withstand a lot of rookie mistakes. So I'm giving it a hardiness score of a 4. When it comes to breeding, it does not take much for these little guys to get busy. Even without the breeding recommendations, you can wake up surprised one day to see some little eyeballs swimming amongst the crevices. For that, I'm giving it a breeding score of a 4. These fish are very, very affordable and even pay for themselves when they start breeding. I'd say they're about $3 to $7 each. So since they're not goldfish cheap, but they're also not going into the double-digit range, I'm giving them an affordability score of a 4. Now, when it comes to their community score, you can't get much better than this. They are non-territorial, peaceful, happy-go-lucky. They're the perfect spouse. For that, I'm giving them a community score of a 5. Finally, let's talk about their rarity. Today, the Mickey Mouse Platy has become an absolute staple in the beginner fish world. Because these fish can be found in most local pet stores as well as many big box retailers, it's very difficult to walk into the store and actually not see the Mickey Mouse Platy there. So for that, I'm giving them a rarity score of a 1. That's it for today. My name is Tyler. If you found these tips helpful, consider hitting that subscribe button, and I promise to love you forever.